So we just got one of the arguably best sets to come to English from a JP set, and that is the CoroCoro Collab set. This set features popular characters from the CoroCoro magazine as Vanguard units, and includes fantastic reprints such as pre-festival 2024 regular pieces, including Orbital and Elementario, unfortunately at low rates though, including overdress set 10 ride phase cyclers such as Colgaflan, and set 11 generics such as the powerful Teithfallt to build a board. Other notable reprints are lyrical staples such as Strega Yuika, Philander, and Bebebebe. Each box comes with one guaranteed CoroCoro rare, aka reprint, or CoroCoro grade 3 boss. They're ordered by strength in my opinion, and according to results from when they first released in JP. Do keep in mind though for the deck list in this case that if you don't know that as a collaboration set, you can choose to either build your deck choosing either a nation, for example Keter Sanctuary, allowing to use those nations cards, or the CoroCoro nation allowing use of anything for the CoroCoro race. So for Brandt Gate, we have Exposing Demon Black. So Black's rideline revolves around overwhelming power to one-shot your opponent on your grade 3 or grade 4 turn. His rideline grade 1 sets up Camera Chan in your set order zone, which can soul blast one to call itself to aggro early as a 10k 1 crit unit, which then returns to the order zone. The grade 2 rideline sets up Stochiea in the back row to give your cards with black shield +5, and allows you to superior ride into grade 4 black. He also has anti-retire so your opponent can't kill him early, though he can still disappear through other removal. So here's the star himself, Darkness Exposing Demon Black, which is the grade 3 Vanguard with the act of the deal keyword, which is his act to soul blast 1 if you have a camera chain in your order zone, which is guaranteed, and choose 3 of your rear guards, and until end of turn, they go into the deal state gaining +5k power. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, you can counter +1 to choose one of your rear guards in the deal state and stand it, enabling 4 attacks turn 3. Satoshi called by the rideline also sets up a play to superior ride into the grade 4 black, especially going second, the more powerful version that has triple drive. His grade 4 is an upgraded version of the grade 3 black, paying counterblast 1 if you have a camera chain in your order or rearguard circle, to make all of your rearguards gain the deal state and +5k power. The strong ability with this grade 4 is a board where you stand up all units in the deal state, so basically your entire board by paying the cost of putting a grade 3 or greater card with black in his card name from hand or soul into drop. His only downside is that if you do restand all of your rears in the deal state, they're retired at the end of turn. Though this isn't a problem because his rearguards make it very easy to rebuild your board. For example, Black's strongest rearguard, JK Black, when placed other than during the battle phase, you can counterblast 1 to draw 1, and then if you have a Black Vanguard, you have the option to soul blast 1, call a card from hand to rearguard circle to draw an additional card, working very similar to Melty. Other amazing rears are Akane, which gives +5k scaling over defensives, and retires itself at the end of turn and draws 1, as well as Ultimate Lifeform Nada, which can EB3 to call himself back from drop to rear if you don't have a card with the same name on your board. He also gains a massive 10k power to end of turn when attacking grade 3 or greater unit, so the deck's numbers spiral really fast. So here's an example deck list running Orbital as the regular list because you can call JK Black while also adding the grade 4 black to your hand. It's also running 4 Pence Mirror to use Access Energy or CB to refill your hand early and late game, as well as 4 Bubble Mine to refuel Soul and Countercharge. A more budget option would be a list like this that uses Marstows, which is reprinted in set 6, and other Brandt Gate generics as deck filler options, such as Mikani. Alright, so from Dark States we have Chrono Rewinder. So Chrono's main keyword is Retry, which is referenced by the set order Retry Eye, the ability that once you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rewinder, you can Soul Blast 2 rest it to stand the unit that just attacked. After standing the unit, it gains +5k, sets its own drive and crit to 1, and it's no longer being able to retry again for the turn. This can be done once per turn per retry set order and does work for the Vanguard, which for the majority of time you'll be using it on turn 3. The other keyword is Version Up, which is similar to Limit Break. It's active if you either Persona row this turn or if your damage zone has 4 or more cards. This keyword also appears in Chrono Rewinder's allies with powerful skills such as turning off auto abilities and gaining 10k power and a crit until end of battle. Chrono's Vanguard skill is to Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and choose up to 1 CoroCoro from among them, call to rearguard circle, and shuffle your deck, which is basically the majority of your deck. If you chose this set order Retry Eye, then you can put it to hand instead of calling it. His second skill is that once per turn, if Version Up is active, at the end of the battle this unit attacked, you can cost to put a card from hand into soul, and search your deck or draw for up to 1 to 3 minutes from now Chrono, call to a back row center, and it gets +10k power until the end of turn. Then, 3 minutes from now, Chrono gains the ability to attack from the back row since he was placed during the battle phase, and gets an additional +5k power on attack, hitting 25 total. So if you do so at the end of the battle, he puts himself to soul. There's powerful group 1 rearguards such as Samfoam that can revive itself when you Rewinder grade 3 Vanguard placed, and then there is another copy on your field, like Maple. It has the act to shove itself to soul to check top 7 and reveal up to 1 Retry Eye. These combos also help ensure that your soul is healthy, so you potentially Retry Eye both your Vanguard and a rearguard circle turn 4, enabling 5 attacks. As usual, Philia is a solid addition to this deck for early soul and cycle of your deck. His strongest rearguard is Shirai that can revive itself for CB1 from drop if your order zone has a Retry Eye and there isn't already one on the board. His Version Up skill allows him to gain +10k power when attacking a grade 3 greater unit, and the ability to EB3 to gain a crit. The other powerful rear is Lemon, which can EB3 to stop your opponent from activating auto abilities with cards until end of battle. Very similar to Starry Night Sky 0, stopping perfect guards on Guardian Circle. So Dekka-Kun belongs to Keter Sanctuary and revolves around the main grade 3 that gains power +5k and drive +1 if in the oversized state. The plus 5k power is active on the opponent's turn, so he has an 18k base Vanguard, making guarding much easier. The Vanguard's lower body puts both the upper and lower body into the new oversized state keyword, gaining resist, aka not being able to be chosen by your opponent's card effects. And if they're both on rearguard circle, when they would move to guardian circle, they both move at the same time. So for example, when you intercept with the upper body grade 2, the booster from the oversized state also moves with it to guardian circle. This is one of the really rare ways in standard to give resist to the Vanguard, so cards that target the opponent's Vanguard really struggle against this deck. You can think of these upper and lower bodies to be similar to Stormy from G, except more restrictive, where your grade 2 calls a very specific grid 1 for the deck or drop to the same column. The back persona skill, the lower body, states that if you did not ride this turn, you can counter +1 assert your deck or drop for a persona ride copy and ride it as sand. And then if you didn't activate persona ride this turn, you activate, ensuring your Vanguard's on attack crit +1 is active. Big Launch Dekka-Kun lets you reset a column in oversized state for counter +1 if your cards did not stand by your ability this turn, making Dekka-Kun a 4 attack deck. The other combination of a very big Dekka-Kun gains power for soul +1 if in the oversized state, with his lower body having the ability to soul +1 to make the original shield of the pair 10k when put on the guardian circle. The last pair can CB1 to draw 1 with a conditional 5k if your opponent's Vanguard is greater or greater, and on boost to energy charge 1. These lists usually play the order card from DZ set 1, Warrior's Rest, because the units you choose gain the ability of plus 10k power during the battle is boosted, allowing you to get full value out of the column restand, and making either your other rearguard column that isn't Big Launch or Vanguard swing with crit +1, dry +1 much more threatening. Also, the condition of having 5 or more units to get the additional draw 1 is easy, as every Dekka-Kun grade 2 calls a grade 1 from deck or drop to fill your board. So next up is Dragon Empire, and Dangerous Grandpa has some of the wackiest arts that revolves around binding your own cards with a dangerous skill keyword to gain additional effects. It's got a crazy grade 1 rideline that can attack going first, but it's debuffed by having no drives. The strongest Grandpa has the act to CB1, keep revealing cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a card with a different card name from cards in your bind zone with the dangerous skill ability. You then bind that card, shuffle the deck, and draw 1. So a few of the hilarious dangerous skill abilities you can get off are resetting the Vanguard for drive -1 at the cost of saying stand up Vanguard. You have UFO Grandpa giving the ability to give your Vanguard plus 5k and drive +1. You also have Principle to give the skill to bind your opponent's farm row and give the Die Kaiser Guardian Circle retire, but do note that this does not nullify the effect of Sentinel through D Die Kaiser that was just revealed, but you can retire OT. Mr. Strongest can give your opponent's Vanguard -5k on a turn and deal your opponent damage if their damage zone has 4 or less, stealing Welsh's gimmick. You also can't forget the hilarious V Grandpa, which gives a rearguard plus 50k power, and the act that when its attack hits a Vanguard that you win the game. This deck can also do multiple attacks a turn through the author himself, Kazutoshi Soyama, as at the end of the battle this unit boosted a rear with the dangerous skill ability and your Vanguard did not attack this turn. Cost, put this unit into soul to stand the boosted unit and give it plus 5k power. He can also unplace for soul +1 outside the battle phase, choose up to 2 cards with the dangerous skill, putting 1 on the bottom deck and calling the rest to rearguard circle. So last but not least from Stochiea we have Bebe, aka Muscle Baby, which revolves around evolving its grade 0 baby form into new forms during the main and battle phase, entering the explosive growth state, which is placing a specific unit atop a grade 0 normal unit with Bebe in its card name, instead of normal calling it to rear. You can essentially think of the deck as overdress from UU, but in Stochiea. The card underneath is referred to as its growth factor. Baby has the simple ability to give all the front row CoroCoro plus 10k if you have a unit in the explosive growth state, very similar to Mahar. Its once per turn skills on attack to counter +1, choose one of your rearguards and stand it, and if you sit a grade 0 normal unit with Bebe in its card name, you can choose up to 1 card with the explosive growth ability from your hand, and explosive growth aka overdress that unit as stand mid-battle phase. The baby also evolves and has powerful rearguard abilities, though at the end of the turn the evolved unit goes back to hand and the baby is called to the same rearguard circle as rest at the end of the turn. The triple rare grade 2 energetic baby allows you to on-place EB3 draw a card, getting plus 5k very similar to Farina Arcs, and the on-attack getting plus 5k power for the battle if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Bebe. The other unique rearguard is Morality 0 Taro, which can CB1 to make your opponent choose a card and discard it, so a random inclusion of Nubatama Handrip in standard. So here's a deck list that you can see is very focused on only the CoroCoro cards, making it very budget. The deck also has a very unique order called Advancing in Space that you can play for soul +1, giving unit plus 5k and the option to move 2 triggers with Bebe in its name to Guardian Circle. This often results in a maximum of 35k shield, being very close to Freezing Wave, as there's no effect fronts with Bebe in its name. Alright, so there is your summary of every CoroCoro deck from the new set. Let me know what you think of these crazy additions to DivineZ format, and if you're building any of them. And thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.